What is up, Hardcore Nation? It's Hardcore Christopher here, and I'm here to talk about the FTC and COPPA again. Oh, joy. The more I think about this, the more I want to do videos about this, the more...
Go-karting in Oxnard. Oktoberfest in Rosemead. What a day that was.
Honestly,
Worst and sauerkraut while listening to the Battle of the Oompa.
The more I just want to get my thoughts out.
Oh God, do you think I'm making a mistake? No.
And yes, am I worried about my channel in particular? Yes, and I do believe that every YouTube content creator, or as the FTC calls it, channel owners, which, okay, we we don't do I mean, do we own our channels, or does YouTube own our channels?
Hi, come on in.
We don't own YouTube.
Actually, I thought we could stay in tonight.
Really?
But we're just independent YouTubers just making videos for the masses. What is so wrong with that? In my mind, there is nothing wrong with that.
Glad you liked it.
But the Federal Trade Commission.
Thanks. Be right back.
Think that there is something wrong with children's content. So, look, my thoughts on... Well, I've already given my thoughts on COPPA and how I feel about what the FTC is doing and how ludicrous a $42,000 fine is per video.
I made coffee.
Hot coffee?
Yeah.
Of course it's hot.
So,
Oh my.
I haven't actually spoken about what I think of the FTC as a whole. Quite frankly, the FTC can say whatever they want.
So listen, Donna, there's something we really need to talk about.
What's that?
Well,
And I really don't care about that.
Are you completely happy in this relationship?
Oh, good. Then it's not just me.
What do you mean?
Well, I enjoy spending time with you, but, honey, I kind of feel like we're getting a little stale.
The Federal Trade Commission
Come on, Ellen. Our sex life is pathetic. We're just
actually
going through
did a
the
press
motions.
conference, and these are
Whatever you want. Tried and true.
these
I
are
want to call it tried and true.
their words, not mine,
No, if every time
that
we get in bed, it's
YouTube
But the same old thing. What about the
that
Alaskan Cape?
It was the same old thing
YouTube
in a
is, well, we've all heard the old phrase coined, shooting fish in a barrel. YouTube is the barrel, the content creators are the fish.
Fired, lackluster,
Quite frankly,
Okay.
that is,
mind-numbing, boring.
I think, completely wrong.
Shares with me. I will show you tedious, mind-numbing, and boring.
But But I wonder, does the FTC have the legal authority to go after content creators? Because the thing is, and from what I've understood about all of this, is that neither the Federal Trade Commission nor YouTube have been, well, for lack of a better word, have been specific on things. I mean, you go to the Federal Trade Commission and It's obvious that it hasn't been updated ever since 1998. You go to the Federal Trade Commission's website and it's like, you can't use duh, you can't use whatever, you can't do pet videos, you can't do gaming videos, and why? Why? All because of what I've mentioned before. All because of ads. You see, there are two types of ads that run on YouTube. There are targeted ads, which are the ads that the algorithm figures what content you like best, and if you watch a video and say a video game ad comes up, and since I enjoy video games, I'll search that video game and see what comes up. And then there are just generic ads. Targeted ads make up a YouTuber's salary by 80 to 90%. That's just a guess on my part. Like I've said before, I don't make any money off of these. So you can see where for me the revenue part does not come into play. But for the YouTubers that do make money, that they do this for a full-time job. First and foremost, 80 to 90% is a big drop in... Yeah. 80 to 90% is a tremendous drop in revenue. On top of that, I do believe that every YouTuber, whether they want to admit it or not, is worried. I mean, let me go back to what I said before. YouTube or the Federal Trade Commission have not been specific about this. All we get from YouTube is, like, consider the language, consider the subject you're talking about. Honestly, I don't think the Federal Trade Commission even knows what... Surely they know about YouTube, but
only pay for what you need.
They don't.
What do you want to do today? Anything.
Here's my thought. The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, they're just a bunch of men and women in suits that sit in a boardroom all day deciding on things. And, you know, I'm all for protecting children and everything like that. But I think the FTC is overstepping their bounds. Simply because when you say 4 kids or not 4 kids, that is the vaguest phrasing this side of the Mississippi. Why? Because there's a lot of content on YouTube that looks that you could take either way. I mean, you take a gaming channel like PewDiePie, for example. He cusses in his videos, but it's gaming content. Gaming content is considered under COPPA. Kid friendly.
Walk.
Just say walk
So,
to make up words.
but the language he uses is not considered kid-friendly.
It's not much of a
Now,
signal.
what?
All right, how about I just wave my arms?
Now, why am I talking about this again? Because not only is it a hot-button issue, but quite frankly, I did not know COPPA existed before this.
Excuse me.
Because you see,
I'm sorry.
the government,
Dinner, but I'm sitting over there
I
with
don't-
my nephew.
Now,
I don't worry myself about the government. I worry about me and my life and my family.
Anyway,
I don't have time to worry about the United States government when the United States government is grown men and grown women that, yes, they fight like children,
this
and
is our one-on-one time.
they
and you should have that. I'm only talking a couple of minutes here. It's enough time to put a smile on a young boy's
just sit in a building
I appreciate
and they
you coming over, but
don't even know what culture really is.
real smooth.
Why should we, the content creators,
Sir,
why
I'm
should-
dinner with my daughter.
And I am here with my nephew. Let's face it, they'd rather be
Why
sitting
should
next to
we
each other than hanging out with a couple of old farts like
be forced to pay $42,000 per video? By the way,
I don't think you're funny.
there are two ways, like I've stated before, there are two ways to tell YouTube that you are not,
Charlie, I've asked you
that
to
you
leave us
are
alone.
or are not a kids channel.
Give me a refill.
One is per video, which,
Don't get a refill.
again,
Now?
that's the only way on phones. I already checked if you could,
I warned you.
I could already, and like I already told you
don't need to watch your weight.
before, the per video takes forever.
Here you go.
Especially when you have,
Are you alright?
Oh yeah, little Alex.
I'm gonna,
The twins got the worst of it.
I think I have well over 1,000 videos now. I don't know, I don't keep count.
This relationship
But
is over.
Over.
you have
What else is there to do besides
so
celebrate?
much time.
I thought maybe we could take it to the next level.
Well, really, you don't really have that much time because you have next month, and by the time 2020 rolls around,
No, thank you. I've already been
the
there.
FTC is getting involved, and they've already said in the press conference that I listened to that they are going after you. They are going after YouTubers. They are, to be honest, they're being complete jerks about this. Because I understand the importance of
Just get out.
not collecting personalized data on children. That's what COPPA was. That's what COPPA is for. But last time I checked, we don't control the information that. We don't control the data
You must be out.
on YouTube.
Forget it,
The
George.
ads that pop up on any video, we don't control. You can't control. And whether it's a generic ad or a personalized ad, we have no way of knowing. Doesn't really help that you, it doesn't really help that it seems like everything is getting squeezed to this middle ground, and it sucks because, you know,
See, you really need to be more clear about what you meant by taking it to the next
take
level.
someone,
See, I'm fine with this. This could help.
Go to hell.
take, oh, and the second one is the channel level, but you can only do that on computers for some reason. I don't get it. You know, quite frankly, I've been a member of the YouTube community for a long time. I've been making YouTube videos for 3 years. And, you know, sure, did I watch things that I probably shouldn't have been watching as a kid? Yeah. But, you know, video games, stand-up comedy, you know, especially video games. Video games was a big thing. I was watching a lot of video game content when I was first on YouTube. But the thing is that, and I really wish we had internet so I could show you guys. But the thing is that don't the kids have YouTube Kids? Isn't that still a thing? You know, it doesn't. To be honest, I don't think that the government should decide what we can and cannot oh shoot, can and cannot do on this site, because with the FTC doing this, they have rattled the cage, and everyone on YouTube doesn't really know what's going on. So, COPPA is good in theory, bad in practice. You know, the thing is that it says specifically down in YouTube's terms of service that you have to be at least 13 years of age to own a YouTube channel, to even have an account, period. But I don't really think that this is a YouTube problem, and let me explain why. YouTube shouldn't be parenting. What do I mean by that? Kids now are more
We're allowed to take sides. Nobody told me. Is it too late? What's that funny, Charlie?
Are more of a hold on.
Hey, Cynthia.
I lost my train of thought.
Wow, what a nice surprise. How are you?
Just great. It's been a long time.
Oh, I remember now. Kids are more interested in computers and iPads and just YouTube as a whole. Are you telling me that if I have a pet and I make a video about said pet, that is kid friendly, even though I don't consider my channel to be for kids? Is it wrong to say that what the FTC is doing, and I think they are overstepping their bounds? I don't know that for sure, but you know, so what will happen? Well, first and foremost,
Go get us a tape. Come on.
if
Charlie,
you
understand? She and her husband were our best friends for like 10 years. We
there
traveled
is
together,
a
we took
petition
vacations
on
together. Once she
change.org,
fantasized about boinking her. She was Judy's
and
friend. I was her
FTC
husband's
is
friend, of
taking
course I did.
comments about Kappa.
I got 2 regular coffees, please. And
Um,
1 chocolate frappuccino with whipped cream and sprinkles.
Also,
Well, here's your chance to fulfill your fantasy. No, I couldn't. Why not?
what
Well, for one thing, I don't want to upset
I
you.
just
There's still
said
plenty-
what
Now,
we
the
can
fact that you're
do,
still drawing breath
but what
upsets
will
you.
happen to channels that
I couldn't
check
go out and without
that
hearing
they
from
are kid friendly and that they are not kid friendly? Well, not kid friendly
Positions were reversed. Like,
really
like
has
if this
nothing
was
to
single
worry
and wanted to
about.
date you, I would certainly want her to
But
check
if
with
you
me before,
click
blew my brains out.
kid friendly,
Jake, what's her
you
number?
lose comments, you lose notification bell, you lose searchability, you lose
Oh, Jake.
It's okay. I'm eating on the side without teeth marks.
you
Already my
lose
ass. That's a missing chromosome.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a red
you
bone.
lose stories, you lose basically everything that made YouTube remarkable. I like interacting with YouTubers and my friends that just so happen to be YouTubers. I like all of that.
We gotta go to the bathroom.
Please tell me you didn't let him eat a lot of crap.
Let him. Judith, our son is a billy goat. Wouldn't be surprised if he's in there pooping.
And now,
Lovely.
Wait, Judith, I wanted to ask.
so I know I've just rambled on in this video, but I'll probably make another video about this as soon as I find more information.
I think it might amuse me.
Here's the thing,
Yeah, well, seek amusement
and I'm
elsewhere.
gonna leave it at I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave it at.
Judith's husband, he's my favorite.
I'm going to leave it here for now.
You know, Jake's right.
The
Sometimes you
FTC
can be
and
hurtful
Kappa.
for no reason at all.
So, who did you run into?
Really,
Cynthia Sullivan.
Okay, so.
really, I just think
I know
that
we're still friends, and I was wondering if you'd be okay if I asked her out.
Fine.
Really?
Sure.
I
You're both
just
adults, you're
think
both single,
that
and most importantly,
the
she won't go out
FTC
with you.
don't know anything, and honestly, Kappa,
Said something to you?
Well, but you're not the type.
why I understand
Don't
why
like her
it
expression.
exists,
Smart, funny,
I
sensitive,
think
good-looking.
that the FTC has taken it to the extreme. So I'm Hardcore Christopher.
But if she did
Keep it hardcore, everyone.
you'd be okay